Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, my name is Tyson Hockley. I'm a 15-year-old YouTuber. I produce content here on YouTube. I talk about stuff that's going on in the world and occasionally I'll react to videos. I filmed a video reacting to Jordan Peterson clips a while back. That video now has over 3,000 views, which is great. So I had a lot of comments saying I should do a part 2, so here we are today. This is called Jordan Peterson's Most Savage Comebacks. So it's going to be a very spicy one today. Again, I am 15 years old taking a look at some Jordan Peterson clips. Already, that's not something that you see very often on the internet. So be sure to smash the subscribe button if this is content in which you enjoy. But I'm not going to ramble on for too long. We're going to hop right into this video and see what we have to digest. Again, I'm going to be interjecting every now and then, giving my take on it. Just doing a little reaction. So yeah, let's get into it.
How much responsibility do you feel that you have, particularly guys the alt-right, who, as you say, some of them have enjoyed your work and say,
No,
I'm not one of you guys. I'm not with you guys.
They haven't enjoyed my work.
I've definitely read bits on the internet.
Read more.
Do you think a trans
Already starting off with some savageness from Jordan Peterson.
woman is a real woman?
This is actually a clip that I posted on my YouTube as a short. I remember this.
I don't really like the way those...
And I think Jordan Peterson has a great response to this question because the interviewer asked him if he thinks a trans woman is a real woman. And I mean, if you don't understand the way a question's formulated, or if you think it's formulated in a way to make you try to say something that'll get you in trouble, then it's good to call the interviewer out on that question, because sometimes interviewers will set up traps and trap questions to try to make you say something which will make you look bad. So I think Jordan Peterson had a fantastic response to this question.
Those questions are formulated. You know, I don't know what that means. What do you mean a real woman?
Well, I'm asking you, in your mind, you know, it depends what you think a real woman is, but do you think a trans woman is a woman?
No.
Why not?
And again, we got a debate over that in the comments. I'm not really going to go too into that because, you know, very touchy, but I want to hear you guys' thoughts in the comments, so let me know.
Because I think that women are capable, generally speaking, of having babies, and they have female genitalia, and they have an XX chromosome, and I think the biological markers are relevant.
I'm interested in people being able to have different choices and having equality of outcome.
Aha, well, so the overwhelming proportion of people who are in prisons are male. Now, do you want to equalize that, just out of curiosity? What about bricklayers? They're 99% male.
Yeah, Jordan Peterson's right here. And actually, I think I just posted this very clip on my YouTube as well.
And we've got about 3/4 of the population now in universities in the humanities and social sciences are female.
Look how triggered this woman looks. Like, she looks like she just wants to say something, but she knows that she's in the middle of getting owned on live television.
Yeah.
Are we going to equalize that? And men
That's the face of defeat, ladies and gentlemen.
work longer hours. They work more dangerous jobs. They're more likely to move. They're more likely to work outside. They're more likely to participate in jobs in the STEM
All of this is facts.
fields that are scalable. They make more money for those reasons. And that's all hidden under the idea that the reason that men and women make different...
I think this clip might have been in the last Jordan Peterson clip montage I reacted to, because that seems kind of familiar, but...
amounts of money is because of their gender. It's a very simplistic analysis.
Why are you against the use of alternate pronouns?
I'm against the use of legislation to determine what words that myself and other people are required to utter.
But would you use alternate pronouns if a student asked you to?
I think I've made my position on that clear already.
Well, perhaps not to our audience at home who are just being introduced to this. Would you use alternate pronouns? And why not?
Because I don't believe that other people have the right to determine what language I use, especially when it's backed by punitive legislation. And when the words that are being required are the constructions, they're artificial constructions of people I regard as radical ideologues whose viewpoint I do not share.
Until women got full legal...
Okay, so whatever you think about Jordan Peterson, you have to admit that the man has confidence to come on national television and just speak his mind. Whether you agree with it or not, that is something that you have to admit. I want to hear you guys' thoughts, though, on what he just said about pronouns down below in the comments.
Rights, they could own property for themselves, they could work. Essentially, they were owned. They were first owned by their fathers and then by their husbands.
Status to the domination by men.
Yeah.
You already said that you thought that what emancipated women primarily in the 20th century was technological revolution.
No, not
Okay,
primarily,
which
but
is
that's
it?
one of two. I think that's
It's
two
not
things.
primarily, eh?
No,
You don't think the pill was a primary force in the emancipation of women?
I think
or
it
the
was-
invention of tampons, let's say, or the provision of proper sanitary facilities, toilets, and that sort of thing. You're thinking instead it was the action of courageous feminists in the 1920s that produced a social revolution that overthrew the patriarchy. That's your theory.
Yeah, I think
That's a foolish theory.
Now, this seems to be like a Jordan Peterson speech, and you got some counter protesters right here coming in to disrupt the speech. I mean, they're free to do this, I guess. I'm not sure if that's actually legal to come in during a speech, but I mean, I guess free speech is free speech, so. You can see Jordan Peterson just patiently waiting for them to go away so he can finish his speech here. I think that's what's happening. I'm not 100% sure of the context here. You hear people yelling and shouting, trying to disrupt it. What are they doing?
Pure narcissism
What are they doing? What are they spraying into the crowd?
at work, by the way.
What are they spraying? Okay, so the person who made this montage is plugging their merch here. I'll give credit afterwards. Actually, I'll just give credit right now because, taking their video. Trigger Happy Media. That's who I'm pulling the clips from. I probably should have done that at the start of the video, but hey, at least I did give some credit.
To hijack an event like this that other people put time and effort into, and to use their civility of the crowd and the civility of the organizers as an excuse to blatantly yell out your ill-informed opinions is no way to conduct a civil dialogue. It's absolutely appalling. The people who do that should be embarrassed.
I mean, he is right about that. Like, these people come in to disrupt his event instead of trying to, argue with him. Like, it'd be a much more constructive thing to, put your hand up, raise a question Jordan Peterson on what he's talking about if you disagree, rather than storming in, yelling, screaming, spraying stuff into the audience. I mean, there's just better ways of going about disagreeing. Like, you could civilly disagree and have a civil conversation with the man, or you could just come in and ruin his whole event. And in my opinion, option 2 is narcissistic. Coming in, making a big scene, spraying random stuff into the crowd. That's narcissistic in my opinion, whether I agree with him or not. That's still the wrong way to go about things. But I don't know, that's just my thoughts.
My idea of the patriarchy is a system of male dominance of society.
Yeah, but that's not my sense of the patriarchy.
So what's yours?
Well, in what sense is our society male-dominated?
The fact that the vast majority of wealth is owned by men, the vast majority of capital is owned by men. Women do more unpaid labour.
Very tiny proportion of men, and a huge proportion of people who are seriously disaffected are men. Most people in prison are men. Most people who are on the street are men. Most victims of violent crime are men. Most people who commit suicide are men. Most people who die in wars are...
So here you go, Jordan Peterson just listing off the facts and statistics for this woman who is uninformed.
men. People who do worse in school.
And again, I'm not 100% invested in this issue and what you're talking about right now, but it is true. I do not believe that men are above women. Okay, a lot of women will argue that they are in the patriarchy or whatever. Okay, again, it's an issue I should probably look into more if I want to talk about it on a YouTube channel with 12,000 subscribers. But for my half-informed opinion, I agree with Jordan Peterson on this.
Are men. It's like, where's the dominance here precisely? What
Yeah.
you're doing is you're taking a tiny substrata of hyper-successful men and using that to represent the entire structure of Western society. There's nothing about that that's vaguely appropriate.
But I could say equally well that most rape victims are women. Terrible things happen to people of both sexes.
And you could say that with perfect utility, but that doesn't provide any evidence for the existence of a male-dominated patriarchy.
All right. We are going to cut off the compilation here just because we're kind of getting long in the video. If you want me to make a part 3, let me know in the comments. This is part 2, reacting to Jordan Peterson as a 15-year-old, giving my perspective as a 15-year-old. Again, I do stay the same. Do I agree with everything he says? No. Do I agree with some of the stuff he says? Yes, absolutely I do. I am neither on the right or on the left. I'm honestly not even sure politically where I stand, but that's okay because I'm 15 years old. I'm still learning about the world. I'm mature enough to understand that I do not know everything, and I don't claim to know everything about topics. So yeah, that's kind of my rundown on the clips in which we watched today. If you're new to my channel, be sure to hit the like button, share this out if you agreed with the video, or if you disagreed. Let's create some sort of debate here. Subscribe to my channel. That's a very important one. We're trying to get to 20,000 subscribers. So let's do that. And yeah, that's all I got to say for today's video. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. I hope you all have a fantastic day. And yeah, thank you for watching. I will see you in the next one. Take care, everybody.